So picking a coastal South African rugby team. I've done this with New Zealand, North Island versus South Island. It's kind of that natural divide. Australia was New South Wales versus the rest of Australia based on kind of where most of the players come from. Looking at South Africa, I was kind of thinking, what's the natural divide? At least as a non-South African, it's harder for me to know about the geography and, like, is it an east-west? Is it a north-south rivalry? I couldn't figure one out that was quite natural. So I've gone with coastal versus inland. So we've got the northern, western, and eastern Capes plus KwaZulu-Natal on one side, and I'm going to do all the inland provinces on the other. So we'll have a look and kind of see where the strength of South African rugby lies. Remember, I'm picking guys who were born in that area and have a current Super Rugby contract, so none of the overseas players are considered. Sorry for the All Blacks gear, I'm still in China and didn't bring any of my South African related gear with me. Right, so let's have a look. On the loose head side, I have gone with Stephen Kitsoff. So, he's from Somerset West. He's like 26. And he's just, he's a pretty dynamic prop. He holds his own in the scrum and he's good around the park. He's not like an 80-minute prop for the most part. He sometimes plays kind of 1 week as a starter, next week as a sub. But for what he gives, I'm happy to have him in this team. I think he'll add something both kind of in that like offensive department plus in the scrum. So yeah, he's a decent choice, and he's Springbok for a reason. So yeah, pretty happy with him. At hooker, I've gone with, assuming he is fit and healthy, Skara Ntubeni. So he's from East London. He's 27. I feel like this guy hasn't quite hit his full potential because his career has been disrupted by injury. He was on a pretty good path in his career, and then he's just spent so long on the sidelines, it's kind of disrupted things. But he's definitely a guy who was showing what he can give, and I believe fully fit and healthy, he can definitely contribute a lot to any team that he plays for. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in Super Rugby this season, because he's only had a few minutes from the bench, but fingers crossed we'll get to see him, and he'll stay healthy this time. On tight hand side, I have gone for Wilco Lowe, so a kind of young, up and coming dynamic prop. So he's from Ceres. He's 23, he's 185 centimeters, 130 kilos, and he seems to be kind of that absolute round the park. He's going to get you a try every now and again. Great for your fantasy team if you play some fantasy rugby kind of prop. And like I said, only 23, so still bags of potential going forward for this guy. Just want to see more of him, and Storm of Scrum looks pretty good with him in it, so good choice. Pretty happy. Locking department, there's only one choice first. Ebenetzebeth. So he's from Cape Town. He's 26, 2.04 meters, one of the best locks in the world. It's another one who's, damn, I wish he was fit, because you want to see the best players in Super Rugby. So assuming he was fit, he's pretty much one of the first names off the team sheet for any team he plays for. He's got the height, he's strong, he's good in the line out, he's good around the park, carries well, so he's got a big fend off. So hard to match the likes of him with anybody else. Next, another guy from Cape Town, I've gone for Pieter-Steph du Toit. So not quite as big as Ebenetzebeth, but he's kind of a bit more mobile. He sometimes plays on the flank. But still, he's 2 meters tall, so he's not short. Like if he was playing for the Sunwolves, he'd probably be the tallest lock they've got. But he's 25, as I said, from Cape Town. So Springbok, Etzebeth and Tutoit's a pretty decent combination in the second row. So yeah, it's a pretty strong looking type 5, if I'm honest. For the loose forwards, and I'm gonna have to go. I have to go New Zealand style, blindside at 6, open side at 7. I know South Africa there's the switch around, but I'm still going to put my blindside at 6 because my brain computes things that way. So on the blind side, I'm going with Jean-Luc Dupré. So he's from Durban. This guy's still really young, you know, he's only 22. Him and his brother are coming along really well. You got to think, at only 22, he's still got a lot of years in him for his rugby career, so hopefully we'll be seeing him in the Sharks jersey for a long time. Hopefully he doesn't head abroad too early. And yeah, in the Springboks jersey as well, because yeah, just as long as he's not giving away penalties, he's good at the breakdown. He's a pretty mean tackler. He just looks unhappy. I guess he inherits that from his father. So yep, pretty happy. At number 8, I've gone for Warren Whiteley. Kind of hard to go with anybody else when you got him on offer. He's just such a good leader. Experience, you know, he's 30. He's from Durban. Again, if he's fit, he's just such a good guy to have. His energy rates are just amazing. Like he's just always. I mean, I guess maybe from his sevens background, he's just always running. So. Yeah, he'd probably be captain of this team if he was in it. So, yeah, again, I'm pretty happy with that choice. On the open side, and I know this guy can play kind of a few different spots in the loose forwards, but I'm going with Sia Kolisi. He's not like a traditional fetcher, but you've still got Jean-Luc Dupré, who's good at the breakdown as well. So, Sia Kolisi, he's from Port Elizabeth. He's 26. Been around for what seems like ages. He's kind of that even mix of, like, he's not a fetcher and he's not like a Willem Albert's kind of bulky blindside, but he's strong enough to be a dynamic ball carrier and he can get into the breakdown when he needs to. So he's kind of a good mix of everything, a bit of a jack of all trades. And yeah, he'd get into most teams that he was trying to get into. So yeah, that's the forward pack. A few guys from the Western Cape, to be honest, but yeah, pretty happy compared to my Auckland team. I'm very happy. Scrum half was an interesting choice, and I've gone for Duwalt Duvanaka. Yeah, he's 29. He's from Belleville. He's I think he's having a pretty good season. He's another one who's had a couple of injuries, but when fit, I think the Stormers look a lot better with him. And in terms of players who are based still in South Africa and playing Super Rugby, I guess there's a few guys putting their hands up for that number 9 jersey, because I'm trying to think of who were the starting 9s on the last time the Springboks played. I know Rudy Page was in the squad, but he's not playing Super Rugby this season. So I guess that's a question for Rassie Erasmus going forward. But I know Duvanaka is probably not a likely choice for the Springbok jersey, being he's 29. But I like him. I think he's a solid player. So yeah, I'm happy with that choice. 10 was a really hard one, and I had to go with, based on recent form anyway, Andre Pollard. So he's from Somerset West, 24, and he just seems to have the all-round game. It was kind of between him and Elton Jantjies. I've gone with Pollard. I kind of thought about it for quite a while. I've gone with Pollard. He's probably got a better running game than Jantjies, although Jantjies kind of controls the way the Lions play really well. Oh man, I was just kind of the angel and devil on my shoulder talking to me both ways about this one. But either way, Andre Pollard's a really good choice. He's got a mature head on his shoulders for his age. He kicks well, he runs well, distributes well. So yeah, man, what can I say? Very good player. Inside centre, I have gone with Damien de Allende. So he's a well-kept Springbok now. From Cape Town, 26. Dynamic kind of player. If you're looking for a guy to make the difference, often he's your man. So him combined with Pollard and the guy I'm about to put outside him, I think he makes for a pretty good lineup. And the guy I'm going for outside him is Lukhanyo Am. So he's from King Williamstown. He's 24. He's having a really good season for the Sharks. The Sharks' form is kind of up and down, but he's making tackles like a demon, and he's scored a few tries as well. So he's kind of showing us he's kind of got that all-round game as well. So at only 24. I'm hoping to see him in Rassie's next squad as well. I think he's played one game for the Springboks, so he's definitely kind of got that mark next to his name. Next, for the outside backs, I've picked one kind of bolter pick, and that is from the Lions, Fiwa Dianti. So, I mean, the guy's only played a handful of Super Rugby games. He's from East London. He's 23. But from what we've seen of him, he just looks magnificent. He's, yeah, man, he's just an amazing player. From what we've seen, I know it's still early days, and you kind of can't judge a guy's career based on a few games, but the potential's there. He's quick. He seems to have a pretty good rugby brain about him. Yeah, man, he's just... he's a highlight reel, right? He's just a highlight reel player. And yeah, you got to think he's a future Springbok the way he's going. Next, on the right wing, I have gone for Dylan Lades from Somerset West, 25. And this guy is just your, he's your typical... just that excitement machine playing. The guy you watch and you never know what's going to happen. He's, Quade Cooper's that kind of player, but perhaps without the all-round game. Dylan Lades has got a bit more of everything. He's so versatile. He can play so many positions, and he's willing to try anything. He's got the skill set to back it up. He's got a bit of pace. So, yeah, I think Dianti and Lades on each of the wings is a pretty good combination. And at fullback, I have gone, and there's a lot of good fullbacks to choose from. But I've gone with Jesse Creel. It's a 24 from Cape Town. It's kind of a debate as to whether his best position is at 13 or at 15. But I've put him at 15. I like him from 15. I like him at 13 as well, but I wanted at 13. So Creel moves to 15. Gives him that bit more space to attack from. And I think we would see good things from him in that position. So that's the team, the coastal-based team. So any of the guys from the coastal provinces in South Africa. There's a lot of talent on that board, and I think they would give a lot of teams. I mean, how far away from a Springbok team is that? How many of these guys have not played for the Springboks? Not many. Pretty much all of them, I think, have played at least at some age group level. But, yep, that's the team. Let me know what you guys think. Which guys would you delete and which guys would you add? I'll be looking at an inland team sometime shortly so we can compare them. So, yeah, it should be an interesting one. And if there is another natural divide in South Africa between like east and west or north and south, let me know what it is, because I'm not sure of it, but inland versus coastal kind of seemed like a natural fit. But yep, that's it, and I'll talk to you guys again another time. See ya.